Hello, everybody. My name's DM Craig.
I'm Silver.
I'm Dulhis.
And I'm Lucia.
And welcome back to Valaclaci.
Should we just start playing?
Yes.
That's
So why would we be playing that?
because my boy's gonna win. He eats lightning and craps thunder.
He's lightning and crabs thunder.
yeah, that's it. We had a heck of an adventure starting up for us. We are now at we're back in what's the name of the town? I'm sorry, Arire. I always forget that.
That's the way we're going with.
Yep. So we're back in Arire, and from there we have entered into a fighting tournament, or specifically I should say Dalhis has entered into the tournament, and I have become his hype man.
Yeah, hype man. And guy who sits in the crowd and blinds me.
Blinds?
Yes.
Hey, I got all sorts of tricks up my sleeve. If you think that's bad, wait till you see what happens today.
No help from our fellow cleric.
Where's our cleric, by the way?
I don't know.
She's investigating Cybers. She found out he deals with spices.
Spices.
Something about a special book
50,
that she has
25
read.
shades
25
of orange.
shades of orange.
25 shades of orange. Huh.
I was like, I was like orange. I don't know where you came up with orange, but I was like so many other colors would have made sense, like red and black.
Well, yeah. I was literally
Orange is the best color. I'm telling you.
multiple shades of charcoal. Like I was waiting for something that had a little bit of flecks of gray in it. Like
No, I didn't do anything with gray in there. I just went completely off the board to something else, and I just literally said the first color that came to my head. I was like, orange.
Greg's been watching Orange is the New Black.
Yes.
Yeah.
Orange is the new gray.
Orange is the New Gray.
Orange is the new gray.
Yeah. So, anyways, I fought in round one out of three fights in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you
I went through.
dominated.
And he did fine. He doesn't even need Lucia.
Yeah, I almost got down to half health. So,
Yeah, but like exactly. So we
but
could.
they're
That was
gonna
an
get-
accident.
They're only going to get tougher. Is my thought. So, anyways, we're doing that, and I know the tournament will have whatever the continuing opening rounds today, and then we're gonna actually fight one fight a day going forward. So,
Yeah.
I know
Lucia's doing research. You're doing fighting, and I'm doing psychological warfare.
Yep. Yes, exactly. So, I figure we now have the whole day ahead of us now to for me to rest and or not get in trouble, hopefully. And
Rest, party. What do you guys want to do?
so
Take off and go slay some orcs? What's up?
I'm gonna go rat hunting. So,
Oh no, been down that road. I hit you with lightning.
so yeah, I know, right? The one rat you killed. So I actually want to go after my fight. I'll leave the arena and go around town and look for a potion shop.
Okay. Can you roll me a perception check real quick?
Okay.
Is Silver helping you look, or are you just kind of walking around looking on your own?
I'm sure Silver would be following. I'm assuming.
Well, following,
I
but
have
like,
a hype man.
Did you communicate that's what you were doing? Was trying to look for a potion shop?
Silver, come with me.
So Silver doesn't know what he's looking for.
Silver, come with me. We might be looking for a certain shop
Oh, okay.
since I don't have a healer.
I think I see where you're going with this. Okay, yes. Well, in that case, I will also walk around with
Dallas
you.
rolls a 7.
And Silver rolls an 8.
Okay, so for you guys to you guys are looking for a potion shop, and everything's written in common. You guys both know common. It just took you a little bit to get there this time as you walked around the city. It's not a big city, but you guys got a little. You guys were a little hyped up. You guys kept talking about the fight and stuff, and you're like, "Oh, remember when I put the rock down?" He's like, "The one that burnt my foot." And you're like, "No, not that one. The other one. The other one. The other one that slightly blinded me." No, well, yeah, that one because it blinded her. I think too. She looked at it. You guys,
Needless to
going
say,
through and
we
hyping.
walked past the store 5 times.
You guys may have walked past it a couple times, and finally one of you guys was like, "Oh, look, store," and you guys pop in. There's a surprisingly younger looking gentleman running the store. You would say that he's a little bit younger than you, Brian, behind the counter.
Okay.
And he's like, well, hello there, sirs.
Hello, sir. I was wondering if you had any potions available.
He's like, well, you came to the right place. This is the alchemy store here, or whatever he calls it. It's the one-handed alchemist. And you guys look at him. He has both hands.
I raise my left eyebrow thing, whatever I have. Eye bones,
left scale,
eye scales. Did you grow your other hand back with alchemy?
He kind of looks at you confused and goes, so what can I do you for?
Do you have any potions that may temporarily raise your hit points?
Oh man. I don't know if I've got anything like that. That's almost on the borderline of magic, and I mean there hasn't been magic around these parts in a long time. That'd be really tough to kind of find something like that. I mean, I can give you some stuff that will just make you feel right as rain as soon as you drink it, get you back on your getaway sticks as soon as a whistle.
Yeah. Silver leans in and gives him kind of like a little, hey, psst, come here, kid, kind of thing as he leans on the counter.
I lean down. Or are you talking to the other guy?
Oh, I'm talking to the guy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to Dallas.
No. He's leaning on the counter. He's like, hey.
He quizzically looks at you and leans in tentatively.
Look, say if you're holding out the good stuff for a certain client or anything like that, we can pay you. So, really, what are we looking at here for a booster, if you catch my drift?
Excuse my friend's shadiness. We're actually going out on an adventure, and we're facing... last time we faced a bugbear, and it kind of caught us off guard. We don't really want to get caught off guard anymore. And I almost... Yeah, I took a hit, and it kind of hurt, so I was hoping to have something like that protect me or something as well.
Kind of looks at you a little much. I just told you. We're in a riot. This isn't Davy here. Come on, you're not gonna find this stuff. I'm just selling. He kind of points around. He's like, you can get some healing. You can get some things where maybe you can go through. Wait, hold on. Aren't you that fighter? I just watched you fight. Yeah, you were the first fight of the day. You had that really good fight today.
Well,
he kind of starts like giving you like a mild little clap there. It's like, yeah, that was really good stuff. I don't think a lot of the stuff you're going to be doing here is going to help you out in a fight, though.
And then it's recognizing that he recognizes him. I go, so you know who he is, right?
Yeah, I saw him fight today.
And you're telling me that you don't want your potions associated with this man? Think about the advertising on this.
Yes, local businessman helps winner cheat. That's not what I want.
Whoa! I'm sorry.
I've got the one potion here that would help him go through and heal up after a fight if he really needed to. Obviously, he's not using game speak, but
yes.
But all the other ones are going to do some. All the other things that I have here would kind of add some effects to his fight, and it wouldn't be natural, boys.
But technically, on the registration form, it never specified anything other as far as potions are concerned.
This is one of our hot places to be every year. As you can kind of tell, it's a lot busier around here than normal. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been here, but none of you know that.
Okay. How
so to you guys are like, okay.
How big is the vial or the health restore potion? Like, is it something like a little test tube size thing, or is it like a big glass thing?
Are you asking DM Craig?
I'm asking you, DM Craig.
Yeah, if you were to get a vial of it, it is like, think of like a small little test tube of it.
Yeah, so something I could like sneak in a loincloth or whatever armor thing I'm wearing.
Technically, yeah.
Okay. So how much is this?
He kind of looks at you. He's like, I don't know how you're gonna go through and drink this in the middle of a fight. Like I said, I don't want to be associated with you. I mean, if you want to buy it, you can buy it, but I mean, you're not going to be saying presented by the one-handed alchemist.
Well, I'm
not your hashtag ad campaign.
Would I have picked up on what like Burke's idea of hiding it in that or no?
Okay, Burke, let's do it twofold here to see. Burke, give me and then let me pull up your sheet real quick, Burke, so I can kind of see what I want you to kind of roll on.
Okay.
Here. Burke, I'm gonna have you roll an insight check. And I'm using it this way that you are trying to do kind of like a little bit of double speak here.
All his crit fails.
So you are trying to get across your bit of information, and you're speaking horribly to this guy. You're like, but I mean, if loincloth and I mean, is it like this? And you kind of hold up your hands to show size, and the size is way off from what anything he's got, and he's just staring at you. But I'll say, since Silver has been traveling with you, every once in a while you speak in random manner, and Silver still gets it. And I would say it's a 1 in 20 chance that this happens.
Oh God!
So I will let Brian, or I will let Silver roll a perception check, and if he critically
a perception check
critically succeeds, he'll get it. So he's got a nat 20.
I got a nat 20. So do I roll a perception roll or do I just do a d20?
Just do a perception, and if you nat 20.
Okay.
Please, Brian. Oh.
Ooh. And I mean, obviously it would have said set or 18 because you have a negative 2, but as long as it was green, man, you were going to get it. So you sort of are like going, okay, I think he's asking about the size of the vial. That's what's going on in your head. You're like, I think he's asking about that. So you can help communicate that with the guy that's what he's asking, but you're not getting what he's really asking out of it.
So I tell the guy that he's looking for how big is the vial itself is what he's asking, I think.
It's like that big, and he holds up his hand to where it's like maybe he's holding his thumb and index finger out, showing maybe a couple inches in between there, 3-4 inches, something like that.
At this point,
he's like, it's a little guy, and he goes through and he comes back out. He's like, I got a clean one. Hold on, and he comes back out and he shows you. And so it's a long a long like sliver type guy that's like where you can barely see any potion in there.
And how much does that heal? And how much is it?
I guess the price is going to be it's 1 gold just for this little guy. It's not gonna do you much for healing, but I mean it'll take the edge off of any pains that you have.
All right, I'll try it out.
I mean, I've got this bigger one, and he showed you kind of like not a mason jar, but like sort of that like type of size. Yeah, like maybe a little. Yeah, like we'll say a rounded flask. So instead of it being like that long flat, but a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Of that, and he shows that, and he's like, this would probably make you feel pretty good after it. You know, depending on how well your body takes to the potion on this particular day. Because I don't know if you guys know this, you have to roll to see how much you heal back on potions.
No, I did not know that.
Did not.
It's not an automatic. You have to roll it. And so he's telling you, like, okay, this in game speak, he's telling you this potion gives you a lot more health, but it is bigger. It's like, the size of a couple grenades put together. Type thing. And then the other one is a vial that you would be able to potentially hide somewhere, but it's going to be a small amount of a small amount. Yeah. Well, you have a chance at like a decent, like moderate thing, but that's it.
Okay. Well, I'll fork over a gold and pay with it and say thank you and have a nice day.
And Silver audibly, even though it's because he hasn't picked up on what Dalhis is thinking, he goes, "Well, this was a bust." And I want to make sure the guy hears him when he says that, as he walks out.
Okay, so you guys wave goodbye, and he, or whatever you guys do, I guess Silver is being more jerky to him.
I do this. I go,
He's all right, whatever, and he moves on with his day.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go to the cart, pick up my leatherworking kit, and try to sew a little pouch in whatever the fuck cloth pants I'm wearing. That's
okay.
That's probably what I'm going to work on.
Okay. That's really a small little project.
Yeah.
And so we're just gonna have a little bit of fun with it.
Okay.
Your blacksmithing. Or not blacksmithing, sorry, your leatherworking. Do you have any form of you're proficient, obviously.
Yeah.
and you got a little bit more proficiency working for a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say that you're like at the very beginning of this entire adventure, you guys were proficient, but you were level 0 proficient, if that makes sense.
Right.
And those couple of weeks both got you an additional +1 to your proficiencies on leatherworking itself, or on your skills itself. So I'll say that you have a +3, Burke. So can you give me a D20 +3 to see how well, since you're going, because I'm assuming you're trying to make it where you see, because the one thing that you see that the potions, they're a little bit glimmery because it is a health potion. So it's a little easier to see. It's not going to be, when you guys are out in broad daylight, it's not like a beacon of light. If it was dark, maybe it would have like a little glow to it and whatnot. But it will make it easier to see if someone sees it on you. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to kind of have you just do a D20 +3. To see how well you sew this in a stealth manner so people don't see it.
Okay, Dalhis rolls a 15.
Okay, that's going to be really good for what you're going for. You actually make a really good, sturdy little pouch. It doesn't, show through on the other side of your of the robe you're wearing. You can't like sit there and look at it when you put the vial in. Silver looks at it and goes, "No, I can't tell, man." I'm assuming you told him the plan by now.
Yes.
He looks over and he's like, "I can't tell you've got that in there. That's awesome. Perfect. You did some swinging around. It's not going to fall out, so you're good."
Okay.
So before the fight, since he told me about the plan, I would mention to him that if it looks like he's getting into some sort of trouble, what I would, in an effort to draw a distraction away so he could catch a drink, what I was going to do was create a distraction in the crowd, which probably will not draw the attention of the fighter. He'll be focused on you, but it would definitely draw the people's eye away to give you a chance to get a quick sip in.
Yeah, okay. And because what I would probably do would use those half walls as well to hide behind.
And also, and
so
also
the other fighter.
And Silver will be very careful to mention after you're done, dispose of the vial.
Yeah.
I don't want you caught with the vial after you drink it. Like bury it in the sand, whatever you got to do.
Roger that.
I'm sorry. I just saw on your character sheet, your flaws are stupid.
What's that?
Oh, me?
Dalhis's flaws is the only word in the flaws for Dalhis's character sheet is stupid.
Do you see what my flaw is?
Yeah, I saw that, but that one made me laugh. All right, Lucia. It's been we'll hang out with you for a hot second here. You've been around talking to people. I'm gonna have you kind of just I'm gonna answer as different people. Just go through and ask some questions that you might get. See if you get something different or whatever you're going for. We'll do a rundown of interactions right here that you're asking about Saru here.
Okay, so I'm pretty much going to continue with the same questions. I'm asking just about his reputation as far as paying people.
Well, let's just role play. Let's role play it out a bit here. Okay. So just we might switch characters, or if you ever want a different person, let me know. Or if somebody gets sick of you, I'll let you know that they're sick of talking to you and they're moving on. But I'm just going to have you go up and just we'll kind of rapid fire a bunch of little role plays back and forth.
Okay. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you a couple questions about a job?
If you tell us about your Lord and Savior again, I swear to, I'm assuming you cut him off.
No, I was just going to ask a couple questions about a job I'm potentially thinking about taking.
Okay. Well, I'm not a recruiter, but I guess I can help you out.
No, it's fine. I want to know if you know anything about Saru, because the job posting available is one that he posted.
Oh, Saru's recruiting again. That's pretty good. Yeah, he always has like these little adventures. He sends people out on. A buddy of mine went out not too long ago. I mean, he's a tough guy. And he went out not too long ago. He went out. I don't even know what he did. He wasn't allowed to talk about it afterwards, and he never talked about it with me. But he went out, came back, made himself a fair amount of gold in the whole situation.
Is your friend available to talk to?
He's out of town right now. He's one of the traveling merchants. And that's why he's so tough. He's had to defend himself for a long time. I could tell he came back with some bumps, bruises, cuts. He definitely had been in a scrap, I'm assuming. So, and that's probably partially why he wasn't allowed to talk about it. But I mean, the man can defend himself, but he's back out on the road. He was in for 3 months. He's back out for a little bit longer here. So, he's taking care of his family.
Okay. I have a dragon to help me, so I'll be fine. Thank you.
As you're walking away, you say that as you're walking away. He goes, "Wait, fuck, what?"
All right, so I just walk up to somebody else.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Hello.
Hi. I just wanted to ask you a couple questions about Cyru, if you could tell me anything.
Cyru. Oh. And we're skipping
He runs the spice shop.
Yeah. We're skipping the people that obviously don't have any clue who he is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Cyru. Oh, wait, spice shop? No, honey, no. It's a sex dungeon place. It's
what?
Way different.
This guy told me that he sells spices.
Saru told you he's very forward.
No, some other guy that I was asking.
What exactly did he say?
It's spices of life.
Oh, honey, no. Don't worry your little head about it. Yeah, he just, okay, what was your question again? I am so flustered now, and you can see this person's visibly blushing.
I was thinking about taking this job into the ruins, but I just...
fuck, what's a deity? McKelly, I don't know, I'm making one up. I thought you were going into that shop for different reasons, and I had so many questions. Okay, whew, all right. Oh, and the person kind of bends down and is really trying to get their breath back. Okay, yes, adventures, yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, what's the question about the adventure?
Do people come back from them generally? Do they seem happy with their rewards?
I'd say there's a whole manner of people that come back. I've known a couple myself personally, and most of them came back. I know a couple they're not personal friends of mine, but other ones they never did end up coming back, and we're not sure what happened. Nobody really talks about what they did. My one buddy that said he went out, he didn't really get anything of it, but he came back. He just said he didn't do the job completely right, and he didn't get paid. He just wasted a lot of time, wasted some of his, resources trying to get out there, and nothing happened to him. But I mean, if you're thinking this guy's a murderer, he's not a murderer. He from what I can tell, he pays people for the good work that they do, and then everybody else seems okay with it.
Do you know anything about the ruins where he wants me to go?
Oh yeah, that's where my buddy actually went out and failed. The one that's just posted right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy went out there and he tried to go out there, and he wasn't out there very long. Some of these things, they go out and they're gone for a month and they come back later, and this one he was back within about 2 weeks.
A month?
Oh yeah, sometimes there's a little bit of travel. From what my buddy told me, the ruins are how far are the ruins away? Like a week and a half or something like that.
Walking, so 10 days walking.
10 days walking. So it took him a couple weeks to get back, or maybe he was 3 weeks coming back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes they're gone for a month, because it might be 15 days travel out to where they're going.
But the ruins are real, because somebody else told me they were just a fairy tale.
Yeah, he went out there and he said he failed at whatever he's doing. I'm assuming he found these ruins.
Is he around?
Oh yeah, he's up at the corner of 4th and Main. That's where he works. He's the fish market guy. I don't know. You probably saw earlier people are throwing fish at one point. I don't know. It's a whole thing.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Okay. All right. Let's jump back to you two. What have you guys been doing? Anything? Plotting? Secretly punching ninjas?
First off, Silver is patting Dollhiss on the back for his ingenuity with the potion thing. He's like you, my friend. Are really coming into your own.
Well, thank you.
But he does mention to him that there's one thing that he wants specifically him to do in the next fight, which is just like before, come toward where I am on the side. But I'm not going to be doing the same thing I did last time. Ideally, okay. I want you to lure them toward you in front of me and let out a loud roar in an attempt to halt their movement. At which point, I will do something that will both demoralize them, get the crowd hyped up on you, and ideally put a hamper on this guy's initial attack. And then, of course, as we said before, if you get into trouble, I'll set off a distraction to let you go and recover some much needed health. If the emergency arises and we see these guys are, either you're in trouble or you're getting cheated.
Okay, so you guys are definitely sitting over there plotting,
We're plotting,
going over
We're
strategies, thinking of things.
Not even drinking. Like that's how intense Silver is. He's not even drinking. He's just he's straight up focused.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's perfect.
Okay.
That's I agree. That's about it.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll jump back to Lucia.
Okay, so after talking to a handful of people here, she's going to head back to the inn that we've been staying at while waiting for Silver and Dalhis, and she's going to be going over like all of her written notes that she's gathered through all of her research in the past few weeks.
Okay. If she's doing that, then we'll jump back to you two.
Okay. By the way, would Lucia even care if we gave her an update on how the fight went, or what do you think? Would she even not? Do you think would I know if she would carry on that or no?
I mean, she would want to know that Dalhis is okay.
Okay. So I mean, does Dalhis have anything specifically?
If you want to sit there and give like a, she punched him, and then like she's not gonna.
I'll give her just the I guess the basic overview.
And Silver tries to give her the more detailed one, but she's like, ugh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, I'll say it's right before actual dinner time. The fight was, I'm just gonna make this up, was more of like a 10 a.m. type fight. The rest of the fights kind of took place throughout the day. There's 3 other fights that day, and they spaced them out over a couple hours to get people, in the arena and drinking and hanging out the whole day. Basically trying to get people to tailgate and all this stuff. So. You guys kind of skipped out on all the tailgating. Another surprise again for these two characters. And you guys really went back to plotting and stuff like that. And Lucia was doing her searching around. So I'll say it's right before the normal like quitting time, dinner time type time frame. So if there was anything else you guys wanted to do before you wanted to do a quote dinner and then rest type thing, I was gonna let you guys do. I mean, obviously, if you want to do dinner and then go adventuring afterwards or whatever, that's fine too. But just giving you an update on time.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, Lucy will just she'll talk to the fish market dude on the way back to the inn.
Okay. Well, if you're on your way back to the inn, then like, are you going back to the inn for the dinner portion? Right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, like she was gonna, if it was early enough, because in my head I didn't see her taking nearly as much time as these guys have. In my head I just saw it as like she was gonna go there and just kind of sit at a table and study until they arrived for dinner. Okay.
But on the way back, you were gonna go talk to the guy's friend, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, in my head, the few and you had a couple other conversations that gave you roughly the same information. The couple we role played. I'm gonna say a vast majority of people really didn't want to hear you talk at that point. The way you were starting, a lot of them thought you were trying to sell religion, and they're like, "Okay, I'm good," and they kind of held their hand up and moved on along their day. So I was gonna say it actually took you a bit longer than that. So maybe not. The whole amount of time, but if there's anything else, we'll just we can just jump into you talking to that guy on your way back if we don't have anything else before you guys are all meeting back up for dinner. Okay, so you're gonna head right because he said it was like in the market area, and he was one of the fish vendors, I'll say. So you kind of head in to the 4th and Main or whatever I said it was, and you remember him talking about the flying fish or the fish being thrown. You're walking through and you're like, okay, fish. You're looking at symbols, you're reading signs. It's not nearly as crazy as Davy was for their market, but it's still a little chaotic, where there's still quite a few people, I'm thinking a street like Agrabah, like at the beginning of Aladdin, basically.
Okay.
Where, that was crowded and whatnot, but like Davy was... You're trying to push through on Black Friday without the sprinting.
Right.
Like that was just like, holy crap, this is a metropolis. Everybody's trying to get their food and stuff. And then out of nowhere, you see this fish just go flying from one side of the street to the other over everybody's head.
All right. I'm going to follow the direction that the fish came from.
All right. So you go over and it's on a little stand to your right. And you look over at the stand and you don't like see anybody. You're kind of looking over there going, what the... And there's still a couple people in front of you, but you fully expected the dude throwing these fish here or the person throwing these fish to be standing there holding another fish or whatever, and then you see another fish go flying across.
Okay, I'm gonna tuck my holy symbol into my cloak and hide it.
Okay.
After the day, like, you know, the way the people kind of reacted to that, and I'm gonna head in the direction of that fish.
The fish at where the source throw, or the throw was going.
Source throw. Okay. I'm sorry.
So you go right up. Now you're front row at this place. It's like a 4-foot stand, and so the especially wait, how tall are you? You're like 5 foot-ish, right?
5 foot.
Okay, perfect. So it's not a 4-foot stand. It's a little shorter than that. It's about kind of where if you put your hands up at chest height, you're kind of right there. That's about the height of it, and you can tell it feels kind of cold. The stand you're on, almost like maybe it's being chilled on the inside somehow, but you can't see how. And then right then, a fish comes flying from right behind the stand and goes right over your head.
Okay. And I don't see anybody.
No.
Okay. So at this point, I'm gonna use my thaumaturgy spell to amplify my voice, and I'm gonna be like, "Excuse me."
Okay. I'm going to use Dalhis. I'm going to use your character sheet for some rolls and stuff. So if it says I don't know if it says Dalhis, but and so from with the loudness of your spell, if you amping it up, all of a sudden you hear, "Oh shit!" and a little stocky guy pushes himself up onto the kind of at the same height you are. So you guys are about this far apart. Mm-hmm. You guys are about a foot apart from each other on the other sides of this, and it's this little stocky gnome sitting behind there throwing these massive fish all the way across the market. What do you want?
I wanted to ask you about your latest adventure to Syru. Your friend told me you worked here.
Which friend?
I don't know his name.
He told you his name was Mark. Let's just say that.
Okay, Mark.
Oh, Mark. Yeah, Mark. He drops back down, and you see like this little door open up to your left that you didn't notice before in the middle of the thing. And right when it opens up, you get a waft of cold air, and like a little bit of ice kind of dribbles out as he's doing it. And he closes back down, and he sticks his hand up. He's all 2 foot something, and he's a short, stocky gnome, dude. And he reaches his hand up to you. He goes, "Hi, I'm I don't have a name. Scott. Scott the gnome." Scott the fish gnome. Can you roll a perception check for me real quick?
Sure. Maybe. Gonna work. Game. 18.
So you definitely notice that he is handling these fish without gloves on. And so you at least notice the way you handle this is up to you, but you notice the hand that he's handing out for you to shake is like fish slimy.
I just kind of I reach for his hand, but I kind of like wince a little bit.
Okay. Hold on.
And I say hi.
Hold on. Oh
okay.
Yeah, he definitely he doesn't really notice the wince or anything like that. So he comes up and he just grips onto your hand and shakes, and there's like little spittles of fish like phlegm flying everywhere as he's shaking your hand, pulls it back, and you can tell there's no malice. He's just so used to handling fish. He didn't do anything. He goes through and crosses his arms there, and you can see like where his hand slid across. It's kind of like got the slime on his shirt and everything. I mean, there's slime everywhere, but you can tell it's a fresh slime right across his shirt where he rubbed his hand as he was folding his arms. And he's looking up, smiling at you, and he goes, "What can I do you for, friend of Mark?"
You can call me Lucia.
Lucia.
I was thinking about working for Syru, and I just wanted to know what it was like, and you're the first person I've met that actually has done it.
He gets kind of solemn. He goes, "I don't really like talking about that." Yeah,
Syru's a creep. But I'm really more interested in the actual ruins themselves.
Yeah,
so is there anything you can tell me about them?
That's the part I don't like talking about. Can you roll a persuasion check for me?
Sure.
Let's see.
17.
But he kind of looks up at you and he goes, "Look, I just don't like talking about it because it makes me look bad, but here, it's hard to hear you out here, and I don't want us yelling. Come in here with me." And he kind of opens up the door that's in the middle of this stand, and he walks through, and he kind of looks at you expectantly.
Okay, I follow him through.
You follow through, and he closes it, and you can see just a bunch of ice everywhere inside of the stand that he's in. The stand's like a big rectangle stand, and inside it, it's just a bunch of fish everywhere. And there's ice, so they're all up on, so they're all being chilled and whatnot. And he goes, okay, this is a little bit better. I don't like saying this out loud, but I didn't do well on that mission.
Were you alone?
Yeah, I was alone. See, normally these types of things, I like really taking control, you know? He points at you, he points at the two of you. He goes, us small people, we always have to prove ourselves to the giants out there. And he kind of points up. He says, I was trying to really prove that I could go through and do this mission, and just, it didn't go well. I got out there. I found one of the entrance. I went through a couple rooms and actually found a different like an exit there. I don't know, maybe it's a hidden entrance or whatever. I don't know, but went in and I fought a couple things there, and just I got a little spooked, and I was not taking the chance on that one. Nope. It just, and it pains me to say that I had to come back here, my head held low, with me failing this mission. And that's how I got this whole market. Was I did a couple other things for Saru. I got this whole stand, got my fish business going. It's been great. And I just couldn't do it.
Do you think my companions, they're not here right now because they're off doing things? And she kind of says that with like, you can tell she's like trying to stay nice.
Yeah.
And she goes, they're, one's a 7-foot dragon, and the other's a pretty decent sword and magic user. So I wouldn't be alone. So
magic
do you
user?
think that? Yes.
Whoa. I have never seen one of those. And
I also have magic.
What? How? Why? What?
She kind of slowly pulls out her holy symbol.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. I thought you meant like you could just naturally conjure magic. Yeah, there's not a lot of people that have the faith magic, but that makes more sense. So that's what your buddy is. You guys are in the same church, and you can tell there's no malice like him saying anything about the church. Yeah. He's just like, oh, so you guys are in the same church?
No.
Oh, he's in a different church?
He's not a church person.
Wait, how does he do his magic?
I don't know.
Whoa. You can tell he's actually in awe that somebody has magic. He's like, I thought those were fairy tales. People having magic around these parts.
Somebody told me the ruins you went to were fairy tales.
Maybe all the tales are true then.
They could be. But, I mean, I've got some pretty good friends to help me out, I think.
Well, if you got a magic user, then I'm thinking you might be able to pull this off. I mean, I got through a couple rooms on my own, but I'm no slouch of a fighter. I'd be in that tournament if they didn't hate gnomes. Kind of slams his
tournament's
fist.
Gross.
Yeah, grossly negligent of other people of other races. Slams his fist down on the fish thing again. But anything else I can help you with? I got some customers out here, and you can look up and you can see customers being like, "Dude, I want some fish."
No, thanks. Thank you for your help.
Well, it's been a great meeting you, Lucia. He looks at your symbol and goes, I don't know what the hell that is. Nice meeting you, Lucia, and sticks his fish hand out again.
She shakes it again, wincing again.
All right, you want a fish? And you see him grab another one and throw it.
I'm good, thank you.
No, sorry. He wasn't talking to you. He was talking to his customer. He throws a fish way over again, and you can see the bag. As you're leaving, you hear a coin purse kind of like hit the ground near Scott the gnome's feet.
Yeah, just quickly make my way to the inn.
All right.
To clean off.
So you guys were all back you two were back planning at the dinner table. You were saying you were heading back, Lucia, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll have you guys just all back at the tavern together, or at least you guys have the chance to be together if you're wanting to. So you guys are all back in the same building at least.
So how was your day, Lucia?
Did I have time to clean up or no?
Yeah, I'll say there was a random place that you were able to kind of clean your hand off, because that's pretty much the only thing he really got you with, that you're able to clean your hand off.
I did a lot of exploring and talking to some people that weren't attending the tournament, and got some information about this potential other job that we could look at.
Oh yeah, who'd you hear that from?
In the background, you just hear someone going, "Woo, fighting tournament!" He's completely smammered. Go ahead.
She just like rolls her eyes, and she just goes, I was asking people about Cyru, and I found out that he's gross. I found out that his shop is not for spices. But I did find out that he generally pays pretty well for his adventures, and
all right,
most people do pretty well on them, it sounds like. So I think we could check out those ruins. I know that I've been told my whole life not to go there, but I kind of want to.
Well, I'm always up for an adventure.
And other than like breaking out of the jail, this is like the first time that you guys are gonna see like Lucia like saying that she's gonna disobey something.
And I'm assuming I'm going to pick up on that. Obviously being naive, going, yes, this sounds like awesome. Let's go. It's just, of course, after I'm done fighting.
Silver wants to ask a question about. First off, he's very excited to see her wanting to disobey anyone. Like he wants to encourage this behavior as much as possible. So, but he goes. So you got this information. Was it first-hand account, second-hand account? What are we talking?
So most of the people were like, "Oh, I know this guy, and I know this guy, and I know this guy." But eventually, I did actually find a guy who went.
Someone who's been here before.
Yes.
How did he do? What happened?
Well. And then she kind of, she looks around because she actually kind of likes Scott, so she's going to say, hey, he was just this little gnome that was by himself. So he didn't do great, but, I told him that I have a 7-foot dragon and a friend who can use magic and swords. And he was like, oh, you guys will be fine.
Would he perchance like to go with us again?
Maybe. He runs a fish market, though, and he's pretty busy, throwing fish to a lot of people, so I don't know if he'd want to walk away from that.
Hey, it doesn't hurt to ask.
It does not.
So we're contemplating this, thinking it would be good to have a resource. It's like it is liking that idea, but the fact that he's a small little gnome who took on an entire dungeon by himself makes Silver love this guy without ever meeting him. He's just like, yeah, that sounds like a weirdo, all right.
Yeah,
I like him.
He was, but he was very pleasant in an odd way.
Well, I agree with Dalhis. I think we should go and meet this guy, and maybe maybe bring him on as a guide if we had to, or if we want to, I should say, after the tournament.
I could ask him tomorrow.
Yeah, while I'm fighting and you're not helping. I say very slyly.
You came back fine today,
with
didn't
a little
you?
bit of disdain in my voice.
So Silver gives her like the fake pouty lips, like, please.
She just shakes her head and he's like, Dalhis, you're fine.
All right. I do probably let slip that we are trying to hide a vial in my clothing to Lucia.
She's like, I plead the fifth.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm good with our conversations for the day.
I'm great with that.
Okay.
And by the way, I want to make sure that Lucia notices that Silver's not even drinking tonight. And he's in such a good mood.
Oh, she's gonna notice anytime that you guys are not drinking. That's
okay. I just want to make sure that she notices that he's actually not drinking for tonight, because he's in a good mood, which is like two things that are not usually found together like that.
Okay, so that'll if that's kind of it for the day for you guys, that'll wrap up your day. Assuming there's nothing else that's going on for the night.
Do we know how the rest of the tournament went?
I mean, you heard like, oh, well, I think Corin won this one, and you kind of hear that stuff throughout the rest of the day. But then you do end up getting one little piece of information that you're going to be fighting Albrecht Baldirk is his name.
Mm-hmm.
He's a male dwarf.
Oh, dang it.
So you're gonna be fighting, and I posted that there. So yeah, Albrecht Baldirk, excuse me, is his name. He's a male dwarf, and I'll just say from like hearing random things, you guys did not pick up a lot, but the thing you did hear is that man, that dude, he can pack a punch.
Silver's upset because he loves dwarves. They're craftsmen. He loves them.
Fair enough. All right.
So if that's it. Then you guys will be turning in for the day. When you wake up the next morning, there you see another sheet slipped under your door, Dalhis. I'll say that you're the first one up, and you went and took a look at it, and you see that you've got a little bit later of a start time for your match today. It's a little bit more middle of the day, kind of like they're really wanting to draw out the people coming in, and a lot of people liked you. So you seem like it's not like the main event, but maybe they've got you fighting a little bit later than normal. So
okay.
Silver is excited by this.
So, if there's time in the morning, then would you guys like to go with me to meet Scott?
Do we have time for this?
You feel like you have, I mean, you're gonna have to, if you have any more prep, if you're wanting, I mean, you've got, let's just say, I'm making this up right now, the fight's like at like a 3 or 4, like an afternoonish type fight, and you guys are up, hell, you guys slept in because you guys were so excited talking about the fights and stuff. You guys slept in until like 9 or 10 or something like that.
Okay.
So you know you've got a good handful, 5 hours, something like that before the fight. If you wanted to do any prepping or anything like that, you could, but you got plenty of time to go talk to this guy if you want to.
I feel like we did a lot of the prep yesterday, and so that'd be fine to go and do this. I mean, unless I'm wrong. I mean, on that one there, Dalhis, you tell me.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Well, I'll let you guys know from a game standpoint. There's nothing else like you could do really for it to like
that's fine.
better
I just want to make sure.
So
yeah,
it's up to you.
Yep, we're good.
All right, so I'm gonna
go meet this guy.
I'm gonna go kind of lead them toward his fish market here.
Okay. So you guys all head over to the fish market. Can I get a perception roll from the 2 guys here?
Yep.
Dalhis rolls a 5.
Silver rolls a 15.
So you guys are walking through, and based on, you guys had a little bit of a conversation yesterday with Lucia, obviously. Dalhis, you don't really remember anything. So you guys are just kind of walking. You're following the other 2. You're thinking about the fight. You're not really putting too much into, I mean, you're excited to kind of meet this little guy. However much excitement you had, I guess, yesterday, asking him potentially to join you. But Silver remembers the talk of fish. Just a little small, like, oh yeah, he owns a fish market. Like, it was an offhanded comment, but he remembers. And all of a sudden, fish! And it goes just flying across the sky.
I turn to Lucia. It's like, we're in the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
Fish can fly.
He's great at throwing fish to where he chucks them right to the people buying them.
Oh,
Man,
actually,
he must be strong.
Okay, I'll say with the 15 that Silver saw after she said that. He looks over and he sees that he's throwing the fish over to the other side, and that guy's chopping up the fish, like kind of like descaling them and kind of getting rid of the bone. He's deboning them, or whatever man terms are actually used for this, because I'm not a man. He's prepping all the meat inside the fish. They're just getting it ready for people to just take home and do whatever with, so they don't have to take the bones out, take the head out, etc. All right, so you guys head right over there. Lucia, I'm gonna let you take the reins on how these interactions continue forward.
All right, so she's not gonna open it, obviously, but she's gonna kind of go to where that door was and just kind of give a knock on the pillar or whatever is nearby.
You see the little flap pop down his eye, and an eye that you saw yesterday pokes out, and he sees you kind of like bending over, looking into it, and I'll say that you wave, and he opens up the door and he goes, "Lucia!" Us small people, holy shit! He looks up and sees Dalhis.
I
try to smile.
Hold on, give me a what do you call it? Check. Performance check.
Oh, Dalhis was a nat 20.
You give the most charming smile that a dragonborn has ever given. Yeah, that's ever given a 2-foot nothing gnome. And he just looks up and he goes, "Huh, is this the big guy you were talking about yesterday?"
And she nods enthusiastically.
"Well, I'm Scott the gnome. Nice to meet you." He sticks out his hand to both of you. Can you both give perception checks?
Sure. No problem.
Dallas rolls a 13.
I technically got a -1 because I have a -2.
You crit failed. No, you crit failed.
Oh, I know I did. Yeah.
Okay, so he goes through and he shakes Silver's hand, just straight up grabs it, and again, fish guts or slime and everything. You grab it, and then at that point, you definitely notice what was on his hand. Dallas, you saw this beforehand, and you had a little bit of help with Silver already shaking his hand, and you hear the little like wet slap of the things together. So I'll let you kind of act accordingly here.
I will let's see, what am I gonna do?
Bow?
No, I'll just go. I'll stick. I'm assuming my hand is one finger.
How does your character feel? Like, is this kind of disgusting?
Oh, I don't care whatsoever.
Oh,
but obviously my probably finger is as big as his hand. So I'm gonna stick one finger out.
Okay, but you don't have like a disgusted look or anything like
no.
Okay. He just potentially may have rolled because he tries not to do that, but he just gets so excited and he tries to shake everybody's hand. He just didn't happen to notice with Lucia when she winced yesterday. So
how big? How tall is he? By the way, you said.
I will say he's on the short end for gnomes, not like.
Yeah,
not abnormally short, just like your average short gnome. So we'll say he's just under 3 feet.
Yeah, so he's 3 feet, probably obviously 40 to 45 pounds, and I'm this massive 6'7" beast that my foot weighs heavier than him. So there you go.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's.
I'm just curious.
That's it. So you shake his hand. He goes, "Hey, what can I do for you? He doesn't stutter on his words. What can I do for you, Lucia?
Well, I was telling my companions here about our conversation, and we were wondering if you'd like to give it the old college try again with us.
College try hold on
to come back with us
to do. But what do you
to go back to the ruins?
Okay.
Attempt.
He was confused, not the DM. DM's not confused.
Yeah, no, yeah.
He didn't really. He's in fish mode right now. Okay. Shit. Maybe. He kind of sits there. Can we go in here? Can we come in here and talk?
She kind of looks at Dallas. Is he gonna fit?
He looks up and goes, "Oh."
I can lean over.
How well? Can you just not put a lot of weight on top of there? I mean, it can take some pounding, but you look kind of big.
At this point, Lucy is going to suggest, "Well, would you like to meet us for dinner tonight instead?"
You know what?
So don't interrupt your business.
That might be a lot smarter. Let's do that.
All right. Okay, we're at this inn.
So she tells him where the inn is
information.
To meet for dinner. Yep.
Real quick, upon staring at this guy and looking at him, I mean, I obviously can tell that he's short, but he's strong from the way he's throwing it.
Yep.
Can I tell anything else about him physically? And like, am I looking at him, seeing that he's got like scars from battle, or that he's like buff or something like that?
All right. Well, I'll meet you there. Meet you there at the old three-headed lion, the tavern, or is that the name we came up with it?
I don't remember.
Sure.
We had a name.
The three-headed lion. I'll meet you there tonight for dinner after I close up shop. And you can kind of see he's a little excited. And so from what you're seeing, what you're seeing, Silver, because you're doing a little bit more of an investigative look on it. Can you give me a perception check?
Absolutely. That I cannot wait to fix this at some point. I got a 1. I am the worst perception person. I hate perception.
Well, I mean, you get the -2 on there. It's not a crit fail. It's a.
I know.
He rolled a 3, so he has a modified 1. But like, you just roll bad on perception too.
I do too. Yeah, exactly. I don't help myself any.
And this was not a tough one for you to. You got a 5. You had a 1, and you didn't even roll the 5.
I'll look at him again tonight.
Okay, so you didn't really pick up anything. I'm gonna be nice to you today and say that you didn't get any bad reactions. You just you were starting to look, but then you remembered you looked at your hand and you're like, oh shit, it's all slimy. Like you got more focused on what the hell was on your hand at that point. But yeah, he yelled at you. Yeah, well, okay, yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you at dinner. So you didn't really have any other conversations to have about him, because right after that, you two started talking about the fight that's coming up.
All right,
gotta get my boy ready.
All right, let's head over to the. Let's see if we can find our betting friend, and I'm feeling more confident this match. Let's put some money on myself, if you don't mind.
If I'm okay with doing that, as long as we do it discreetly and also approach there discreetly, because now that you're a little bit more infamous, I don't want you getting recognized and people running up to us asking what we're doing.
Well, how about I give you 5 gold to place on myself, and I won't. Obviously, I stick out a little bit more.
Okay, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, here's 5 gold.
Okay, he gives me 5 gold. I take. And following his lead, I'd say I actually have more confidence in Dalhis than he. I'm going to bet 10 gold, 10 of my own gold.
Okay. So you're gonna go up, and I want to make sure you guys. So you go talk to, and Saru's sitting there in the front. And you do know it's a business day, so I don't know if anybody cared to know that, but he's just sitting up there, up front, and you can see he's got he's got a shady cloak on and whatnot, and. He's up here. He doesn't have a lackey up here. He's the one actually sitting up there, and he sees you come over and he goes, my friends.
And I put on my biggest smile I could put.
Okay.
and I slide in next to him. I say, good to see you again. I understand this is the place for us to talk business.
Oh, he picks up on your innuendo. Yes, business. Let's talk business. And so he goes through and he kind of explains the betting process for them. I mean, it's pretty much like any other betting process. In this particular fight, Dalhis is not the favored person. So you are going to earn back, if you bet on him, you will earn back about 100. Obviously, you're earn like your money back, but you're also going to earn an extra 150%.
150%?
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
Just run with me for the numbers on this. I'm trying to make it easy on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, it says Silver, upon hearing the percentages, is actually even a lot more excited than he probably should be with it, and he immediately decides to take his bet from 10 to 20. So he hands, or he'd like to place the bet for. I mean, it's a total of 25 there.
Okay. Yep. So in this case, if Dalhis wins, Dalhis will get back 12 gold and 50 and 5 silver. Not. And 5 silver pieces, not you.
Yes.
And then Silver will get back 50 gold on this.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep. Place the bet.
All right. So that'll end up placing the bet, but you guys are going to have to wait till next week to see if these guys actually get their money back.
Oh, man. I love gambling.
With fake money.
Always.
We'll see you guys next week.